Hi, I'm Paul Bianco from Chimney Savers Inc. in Randolph, Vermont, and we are going to go over today the chimney cleaning and inspection procedure. Our first step is a preliminary inspection of the outside of the house and the chimney. We're going to check for any dangers or any loose bricks or anything that we might knock loose during a cleaning or inspection. The roof has some snow on it, so we'll probably have to put up a ridge hook to safely access the roof. Good. We're going to start. I laid down drop cloths and I have a vacuum set up, and I'm going to start by checking the clearances of the wood stove to the carpet, the wood stove to the walls, the stove connector to the walls. I'm going to check to make sure this is a UL listed hearth pad, as well as making sure that that is a legal wall pass through to the chimney, because the stovepipe is passing through a combustible wall. I'm going to take the stovepipe connector off and check to see what kind of buildup we have inside the chimney. I have now removed the stove connector, and I'm going to check the flue to see what kind of buildup there is, if there's any unused thimbles in any part of the house, and just see basically any potential problems that we might run into while cleaning the chimney. I can tell that it's a cast-in-place chimney liner, and it looks fairly good. I don't see any unused thimbles up top. Based on the materials that the wall pass-through is made out of, I have determined that it is a legal wall pass-through. It doesn't seem like there's any unused thimbles in the chimney, and we're gonna start the chimney cleaning. I'm now going to stuff the thimble with insulation and seal it so that no fumes or soot can come back into the house. I have stuffed the thimble with insulation so no soot or ash can come back into the house. I have my HEPA vacuum filter with the hose in the thimble to suck out any dust that might be accumulating in there. We're now in the basement. This is the clean out door for the flue, and I'm just down here checking to see if there's any wood around the clean out, and also I'm going to seal up the clean out door before we start the cleaning. We're on top of the chimney. We're inspecting to see what kind of creosote buildup to determine our cleaning method. This creosote is pretty caked on, so we may have to use a row clean method with chains and a drill. The chimney is too short. It's not to code, and someone has been tarring the chimney to possibly stop a leak. I'm going to begin with a 6-inch brush, which is smaller than the flue size, because the creosote is so caked on that I won't be able to get a 7-inch brush down right away. I'm using a scrubbing motion to attempt to get all the creosote, or as much as possible, off with this brush. The top 2 feet are where the majority of the creosote is in this chimney. So I'm now going to switch to a 7-inch brush. Alright. I'm now going to inspect the liner again from the thimble to see if there's any damage to the liner that I couldn't see from the roof. The liner appears to be in great shape. I'm now going to remove the duct tape from the clean out door and clean out all the debris, all the creosote and soot that is collected at the bottom. I'm now going to take the stove connector outside of the house and clean it. I'm now going to connect the stove appliance back to the chimney. After cleaning the chimney, I'm going to go over what I saw during the inspection phase with the customer. The first issues that I saw were clearances. The stove here needs to have 18 inches in front of the door to where the hearth pad ends. That's so when any ashes can come out of the door, it won't set the rug on fire or any wood around it. All the other clearances met code, the back of the stove and the stovepipe to the wall. I would recommend in this case replacing the stovepipe because it has been cemented and it really doesn't have a snug fit, so smoke and gases can come back into the house during burning. Up on the roof, the chimney wasn't quite high enough to code. It needs to be 3 foot above the ridge, and it was about a foot and a half maybe. It was also tarred over at some point because I guess they had leaking problems. So it probably would be a good idea to take the chimney down to the roof and re-lead everything and build it up to code. Down in the basement, there was a definite creosote stain around the cleanout door. In order to solve that problem, you would have to install a stainless steel chimney cap. It's kind of a give and take, because by installing a chimney cap, you can sometimes impede draft. So we might have them try it out for a little bit and see how the stove burns with the cap, or if they're okay with the creosote stain in the basement, just leave it open. Would probably be the best case scenario. It has been 10 years since the chimney was last professionally cleaned. The local volunteer fire department comes out and cleans the chimney every year. There are many issues and problems with the system that the fire department doesn't see and isn't trained to see. After talking with the homeowner, it was clear that the fire department only dropped chains down from the top of the chimney. They never looked in here to inspect the connector to the stove, and as the liner makes curves, you can only see about 4 or 5 feet down the chimney from the top. So there was no way that they were sure that the chimney wasn't plugged, that there wasn't any problems with the liner, and they definitely didn't check for any clearance problems in here. Also, as you saw up top, I used 2 different size brushes. Without using those 2 brushes, I wouldn't have been able to get all that creosote off the chimney. So that's a problem with not having your chimney professionally cleaned. For example, we have 2 different size brushes here. We have a 6x10 brush and an 8x12 brush. There's not that big of a difference between the size of the brushes, but if you only have this size brush when cleaning an 8x12 flue, you're just not going to get all the creosote off the chimney. So there's a lot more to chimney cleaning than people see, and that there's just a lot of tools to get the job done right. Both these chimney brushes are for what is called an 8x12 flue tile. Based on where the flue tile came from and what year it was bought or installed, it varies what size the actual flue tile is. They can go from 5 3/4 by 11 to a true 8x12 inside the tile dimensions. If you don't have a brush of this size, or if you don't have the correct brush for the correct flue, then you're going to miss a significant amount of creosote deposited on the walls, and that's a very dangerous situation, because that creosote can then be caught on fire and cause a chimney fire.
Another chimney saved.
Chimney Savers!
Chimney Savers, serving Vermont and New Hampshire since 1989. The answer for all your chimney needs.